Good morning. I'm here with the lovely Vivian Greentree of Fiserv, and we're so excited to have you here today with me at the U.S. Veterans Magazine to celebrate Fiserv's recognition as a top veteran employer. I know that you guys have made the list many times, but you truly deserve it for not only the work you've done, but the work you continue to do. So first of all, welcome. And thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Some people may know who you are. I know that you attend and join many different conferences and partnerships. And I just want you to just give a little introduction, a little bit about yourself and your journey to Fiserv, please.
Sure. So I am the head of Global Corporate Citizenship and the president of the Fiserv Cares Foundation, leading our global organization focused on strengthening communities, engaging employees, and really advancing social impact at scale. Because we operate at the intersection of financial technology, trust, and corporate responsibility. So I really spend a lot of time creating long-term what we call triple bottom line value by aligning purpose and people with performance and profit. So I oversee our global philanthropy, employee volunteering, giving programs, community partnerships, and really our community investments. We shape our fintech for good strategy that really reflects Fiserv's commitment and values, our business priorities, integrating social impact into how we show up for our employees, for our clients, and for our communities.
And I have definitely seen Fiserv and you show up. So I'm really excited to find out more a little bit about you, your organization, because a lot of people know who Fiserv is, but we want to know about some other interesting things that are going on right now, current. For example, as the United States celebrates its 250th anniversary, tell us how Fiserv is recognizing this milestone and how that connects to your veteran initiatives.
As we approach the 250th anniversary, it's an opportunity for our entire country, really, to reflect on what the all-volunteer force means and what roles we each have in supporting our nation's military. And I think sometimes it's overlooked that the corporate sector absolutely has a very active role to play. And Fiserv is partnering with initiatives like America's 250 to encourage a record-setting year of volunteerism and service. And we've activated that already this year through our MLK Day of Service, Earth Day. We'll continue to do that throughout the year. We're also active members, and I always want to give a shout out to, because we just integrated it into our Bring Our Kids to Work Day, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Civics Bee programming, which is where middle schoolers can compete at the national level to be champions of civic literacy. And for us, this milestone is a reminder that supporting the all-volunteer force is a shared national responsibility. And we are using, the opportunity to double down on our commitment for military families, ensuring that the next 250 years of 250 of American prosperity, though, includes those who have sacrificed the most to protect it.
Excellent. We understand that Fiserv places equal focus on both the hiring of veterans and supporting the veteran business owners. Can you tell us more about your supplier engagement efforts and why that balance is so important?
Absolutely. Hiring veterans and military spouses is so important, and it strengthens our workforce, obviously, and any entity that hires them. But supporting veteran-owned businesses strengthens entire communities. And, we can hire 10,000 veterans, or we can help 10,000 veterans start, scale, grow their businesses so they hire 10,000 veterans. And that balance matters because when veteran-owned businesses grow, they create jobs, often for other veterans, military spouses, military connected families, and they're solving real world problems that, with experience gained from their service. So, hiring veterans provides us with incredible talent. But, as a leader in fintech, we also want to use our scale and scope and global presence to help entrepreneurs scale, because that's what we do best. Through the Coalition of Veteran-Owned Businesses, we provide in partnership with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families at Syracuse University, access to resources from startup to scale up. And we, our Vet 100, I think I would also say, is a great example. The Veteran 100 is a celebration that we do annually to celebrate the fastest 100 growing veteran-owned businesses in the country. And it's another way to just, recognize the success, because they are pulled from a list of the Inc. 5000, and recognize the true economic success that they are bringing, that our veterans are bringing to bear throughout the communities that, and the corporate marketplace. Mm-hmm. So, we really look at it as a force multiplier, two sides of the same coin. It's supporting the all volunteer force, whether, your veterans are looking to transition to use their GI Bill benefits. We want to support their Student Veterans of America chapter. If they are looking to start a business, we are looking to meet them where they're at with, ideation free resources or curriculum. And then certainly if they're looking for employment, if it's not at Fiserv, we are, in a network of companies through Hiring Our Heroes and 50 Strong and IVMF, that we will connect you to the thing that, you would like to do after service.
Excellent. And I completely agree with you. I mean, just if you look at, for example, U.S. Veterans Magazine, we believe in education, employment, and business. That is one just strong group, and mill spouses and families. And I love the way you guys are so involved with all three sectors. And the Vet Edge, which is the IVMF, if I said that correctly, we've actually attended, and it is an outstanding organization for small business owners to get involved in. But I think all that you're doing is really speaking volumes for what your value and how you support veterans. We understand that Fiserv also provides grants to small business owners. And I heard a story about a Marine that applied to your grant, and it's kind of a wonderful story that I'd love for you to share with our readers.
Oh gosh, which Marine? So
he applied for a grant, and then it kind of grew. It went from what he did to where he is now. It's just a really good success story.
There's several that actually immediately come to mind, but I'm going to pick Mike Lloyd because I have his coffee and I'm drinking it right now out of my Georgia mug.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love it.
Because he is a Marine here, here in Atlanta, has a physical store here in Atlanta. And we have been working with him. He has been able to open a physical location. He has just recently gotten into the Marine Corps Exchange, which is like the pinnacle for, all Marines to see their products up on the shelves of the MCX. But there's, so many. There's Chef Tiffany Moore, who received one of our Back to Business grants early on, and she has catered for us an enormous amount of time, so much so that she actually cooks out of our Alpharetta office about once a month. And she is now opening a physical location, Lola Pecan, here in Southwest Atlanta. We having just come back from Vet Edge, I met another Marine veteran who is into sauces, jams, and chutneys, and it's meals ready to explode, the play on MREs. And I would suggest the jalapeno mango chutney.
That sounds great.
Right. I think that's Josh Brack. There's, we were just putting together a care package, and I'll talk to you about our community salutes, but Peyton Sickles is a Army veteran, and we have been packing her socks, sick fit, into care packages. There's, I think of Air Force veteran Matt Butler, who has his Tally tumblers and is also a Clover merchant. And, because in business, we sponsor a lot of golf outings. It's a great place to network, show community support. And so he's a golf aficionado. So his specially kind of curated tumbler fits perfectly into the golf cart. So we've been sharing them at the golf tournaments that we've been sponsoring, which then, gets his product in front of other corporations who are looking for swag. So it's really kind of swag with a purpose. We use a veteran-owned company to do the engraving, and it really just comes back full circle because at the end of the day, we know that small businesses, 99% of all businesses in the US are small businesses, and they, Main Street drives Wall Street. And we are lucky enough to be at the intersection of both. And, I like to think we're very good at what we do with supporting small businesses. And part of that is getting to see, the innovation, the creativity, put to challenges or some kind of obstacle, or even just really good food that you like to eat. As Chef Tifmo, her lemon pepper. Being from Atlanta, her lemon pepper seasoning is my chef's fave. But you really can't go wrong. But we get to highlight them at pop-ups and in swag bags and as a employee appreciation gift. So we're also driving revenue to their small businesses through their websites, through their physical locations. And it really just creates a very virtuous cycle. So the grants, are very important, always access to capital is, but I think what truly, I think our difference is that we think in terms of, all right, what's the next thing? And how can we connect them to the next person, either a vendor, a supplier, someone who might want to secure their products for their own golf tournament.
Right. No, I think that's a great idea. I love the way you're supporting the business community there and making them thrive. You also do a lot of recruiting for Fiserv. And I wanted to ask you, what makes your company stand out from others? If someone is applying there, why should they apply?
So for everything, I think the difference is what truly sets us apart is just that that ecosystem, the sweat equity that we have built up around our talent, our mentorship, our community and development. We know that long-term investment delivers scale and sustainability. It definitely, we saw that during COVID, which now you can't believe that's 6 years, ago. But when that happened, a lot of companies, it was very hard for them, especially on the military recruiting side, because they lost access, right, to physical presence. But we had been building up that online network and referral programs for years. So we really leveraged those long-term relationships. We know that we do research, and that guides our targeted support, so that we are using our first best use of our resources as the world's best fintech to use our time, treasure, and talent in the areas that we have excellence in and can provide opportunity, access, and exposure in. And that's, why we take that ecosystem approach because it accelerates outcomes. So I think that's, that you'll see that show up in, it's not just resume translation. It's not just hiring veterans and then seeing them, eventually roll out because of, the alignment it's not a one-to-one job match. It's equipping our leaders to support transitioning service members. It's talent pipelines. It's investing in community partnerships and onboarding so that when they get here, yes, yay, but then they can build long-term careers where they, join, belong, contribute, succeed, excel, and then give back, and then, turn around and open the door for the veterans coming after them, which they inevitably do.
And I've met a lot of your teams. I'm a little biased here because I've seen Fiserv everywhere in supporting all sectors.
That's
and
because you're
I
truly
mean this. Yes, true. But here's the thing that I'm going to say that I love about you guys is every team that you have, and they're all different teams, the motivation, the enthusiasm, it's obvious the culture there that you've created is very, how do I say, attractive, and it's inviting for veterans to come and apply. And I think that speaks volumes, because it's one thing to have the program, but when you exuberate it and you continue that, it really speaks volumes. And I love it.
That means a lot, and I will share that back with the team.
Absolutely. Your teams are fantastic. So love it. Going on with only 2 more questions. I know we're having so much fun here doing this, and we want to learn more, but looking ahead, What are the future goals for expanding the veteran hiring, your supplier engagement, and support for military families at Fiserv?
Just deepening the impact. Personally, my evil plan is to see more veterans in the C-suite as community
Sure,
leaders,
absolutely.
corporate, community, academic, governing, because I do think that experience, having that experience, having served in uniform, served others, any definition of success has to include service. So, you'll see that in how we create opportunity, access, and exposure, because we know that the talent is there, the attributes are there. We can train for skill. And I mean, in fintech, we didn't even know AI was going to exist 20 years ago, and now
Right.
it's, we're on the fifth iteration. You need people
Sure.
who are, intellectually curious, willing to take mitigated risk, have a sense of ethics and integrity, to make good decisions. And so, that long-term vision is just continuing to deepen, our impact by remaining intellectually curious and open to the changing needs of the service members that are going to be transitioning out, because they're going to be different. The labor market's going to be different. Communities are going to be different. And to stay ahead of that, we need to stay on our toes and remain open to that.
Excellent. Excellent. Is there anything else you'd like our readers to know about you or Fiserv?
I did want to talk a little bit about our community partnerships, just because, we really, we couldn't do what we, no man
Sure.
or woman is an island.
Yes.
And our partnerships, like, with you, I mean, when we met, I don't know how many years ago at an event, and we were like, oh, we go to this. And you said, oh, we go to this. And, it just builds up something where when something happens where I can refer something to you, or you can refer something to me, we just, continue to create that cycle of virtuous inclusion. So some of our partnerships that I always like to tell other people about, just so that they can leverage these resources as well at scale, are hiring our heroes on the talent side, hiring our heroes, Student Veterans of America, 50 strong. They give us access to a talent pipeline, but also ways for our associates, veteran or not, to volunteer as mentors. And that's a thing that I think is very important to just underscore, is that you don't have to be a veteran to mentor a veteran. And in fact, we would do very well if we had some mentors who were outside, right? And that's, we do that even with our employee resource groups, that reverse mentoring, because everyone can teach someone something, and everyone can learn something from someone if you're open to it. So those trusted partners help us prepare candidates for success while giving us, insight into role design. Our partnership with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families out of Syracuse University on the entrepreneurship side, through grants and roundtables and forums and just all the curriculum there. I truly do think of them as the nation's center of excellence for veteran entrepreneurship. We've begun to do more with Boys and Girls Club of America. And we support their Youth of the Year awards, but they also have a Military Youth of the Year award, which again, kind of hits three wickets for us, and talent and engaging youth, and then supporting the military community. And so we started that last year, and I'm very excited to grow that the same way that we, with our partnership with Girl Scouts USA, we support the overseas councils, who sometimes receive, less funding, just because they're geographically dispersed. And so we like to make sure that they can have access to the same, these military kids can have access to the same resources if they were here. And then one I have to mention, because it's graduation time, and kids are graduating. Dads, what is it? Dads and grads, and Father's Day. But our Community Salutes is one that is very near to my heart, and they create celebrations for across the country, different locations, for high schoolers who graduate and enlist directly into the armed services. Wow. And it's phenomenal, Mona Lisa. Our military leaders, so how we've approached our partnership with them is we sponsor the events where we have geographic overprint. So we've done some in Lincoln, Atlanta, Texas, and our military leadership group comes together, we pack like, kind of care packages, care bags packed with, veteran-owned business products, right?
Yes.
So they see, this is Army veteran, this is Marine Corps veteran. I don't know that they're going to be doing a lot of golf, but they will get a tumbler.
Yeah, you never
Air
know.
Force veteran. And they pack the products, right? And then we go. So last week I went to the celebration here in Atlanta, and my team, some who aren't military connected, volunteered to go. We hand out the swag bags, and then I was able to connect as an employer, because the majority of these enlistees are going to serve maybe 4 to 6 years, get out. I want them to see Fiserv showing up there. Sure. So they choose us. I was there as a veteran who lives in the community and wants to support this younger generation choosing to serve, and applauding that, and just telling them the sharing in their excitement. And then also as I have a Marine of my own. And so I was there as a parent, because I want other parents in the community to recognize, the excitement, but also some of the fear that those parents might feel, especially if this is, they didn't come from military service themselves. Sure. And wanting to just, wrap them in support and say, there's an entire network Absolutely. Here. To support you. And so there were other community groups there. I've already made a list of like, how can we do this next year? Include, our commissioner for veteran services. Let's get the governor there. Let's really lift these. I don't want to say kids, because they're not kids, but let's lift these high school graduates who are choosing to serve in uniform, and tell them, thank you. You will be better for your service. And we hope you choose us as your employer when you get out. But it was, I think because it's coming to be that graduation time, there's probably more in celebrations happening across the country.
Absolutely.
It's
the
not,
timing is
right.
perfect.
It's
Absolutely.
not too late to join one near you.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're doing is amazing. I know you go beyond the call of duty. And I just want to thank you not only for your leadership, but for your genuine commitment to the veteran community. And I know that this award is well deserved for Fiserv, because I've actually seen it. I mean, just hearing this alone, this interview and what you've done, and I could see the excitement, the genuine excitement that you have. And I just really appreciate all that you do for our veteran community, for every sector. And I wish you the continued success. And we will always be there to support you as well. So thank you for this time. And I can't wait to share this story with our readers.
Oh, thank you. That means so much coming from you. And I will share it with the team.